Today I'm going to be recording two different versions of sending a campaign for approval. One version will be using Go Visually, the other will be not using Go Visually. And the first one that I'll do will be this not using Go Visually, which is for First National Bank. And the reason why the reason why we are not using Go Visually for them and for a few others, sometimes it's for preference for the client. Other times it is for because they have trouble accessing Go Visually. So First National Bank, being in the financial industry, they have a lot of stipulations on what they can and cannot access on their computers for safety measures. I did go ahead and open up this Drive folder. I do want to request that anytime someone is proofing something, or whatever that task is before the next task, I always, out of courtesy, since I'm already in that folder, I always like to copy and paste those and just drop them whenever I'm saying, hey, this task is ready. I drop those links because it's just faster for people to access. I think it speeds up flow since that person is already in there and completing that task, to go ahead and just drop that link to the next person. I think it's just kind of courteous, but that's just kind of a side note. So I'm going to go ahead and start my timer here just so that we're recording and are able to track profitability with clients, starting with First National Bank. So I'm going to go in here to their campaign. This looks a little bit different because at the time of this recording, we are in kind of the tail end of everything being closed down due to COVID-19, and we are just prepping out about a couple weeks at a time for this particular client, as well as several others. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just hiding a couple of these columns that are not relevant. So I hid the notes comment and the publish time comment, which it looks like we need to actually add in those publish times, but I can go back in and do that. That's a little bit irrelevant to this client. I am going to go ahead and just kind of clean this up by wrapping our text here. So I'm just getting this looking nice and neat. I don't have anything for audience that is relevant to the client. I think we would be, let's see, we definitely want to push this, and honestly, we would just be remiss because this content is so good. So I kind of did not fully work out our strategy here, but that's okay. So I'm going to go in, and I've got this all highlighted. I am going to, actually, I kind of need to do this. Format, alternating colors, and I kind of like this one, but I don't love this color. And then what I'm going to do is, I found over time that it's just simpler to format in here, and it kind of looks nicer for everyone. So I'm highlighting all of these cells. I'm going to go to File, Download, PDF, drop down Selected, and then Export. And I am going to rename this to Part 1 so that the client knows that we're breaking that down. Next, I'm going to go in to their folder with their content, their imagery. I did want to look at this. Okay, it's because it's Adobe Stock. Okay. So anytime I do have Adobe Stocks for a little while, I kind of like to just explain to them and remind them that the reason why we have this Adobe Stock watermark still on there is because we wait to purchase the photos until after they approve the graphics. I'm going to download all of these. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and get my Gmail open. This is going to go to Maggie for approval. And Maggie, June, Part 1. As discussed, we'll be splitting June as well in order to keep. And this, when I'm writing out a few notes, I usually just like to bullet point a couple of things. Thoughts behind the and there was one other that I wanted to touch on. It's kind of difficult. It's strangely difficult to type out an email. I feel like someone's watching because I've got this on record. So I think I want to say that there was one more thing. Yes, we are planning on coordinating for 3:30 next Thursday. I do want to do you. Actually, before I say that, let me just get on here and check really quickly to see if Bentonville Brewing is open on their patio. We are living in a really interesting time. All right. Goodness. Okay, so their patio is open. And then I'm just going to go in and attach all right. And that is pretty much it. I'm not going to let us just sit here and watch this while this is loading. So this is the, again, kind of recap. This is sending a campaign for approval via email where I'm just formatting it into a PDF in the zip drive for all of our graphics.